Hello, and I'm Rob Smith with Strat Time Report. Let's take a look at the market stabilizing after yesterday's debacles. And let's get rid of this. So here, SPY pokes down a little bit and comes back into doji land, just kind of rotting away now. We got a lot of inside 60s here on the new hour here, inside on the 60, outside, inside 60. So for the next hour in the SPY, we won't know if this gets above 395.48 or below 394.01. In the next hour, we'll see, because QQQ also an inside 60 and also an inside day. It wasn't weak enough to take out yesterday's lows, so just kind of stuck in here. It's not doing too much. We're still looking for a bunch of outside weeks to complete, but for today, inside day for the Qs and now an inside 60. For the rest of the hour, we want to know about this here between above 296.59 or below 295.14. And the thing about it is we're watching all these monthlies. They're just back into a doji land to see if we can get any of this stuff to really, keep going. So the follow through has been tough. And that's why you get this back and forth kind of action here, up and down, and then right back in the middle of where we started. But still, once again, looking for outside weeks to complete. Maybe not today, though, because you got that inside day, inside 60. If we go to the Dow Jones Diamonds, also an inside 60, slightly took out yesterday's lows, so you got your outside week there in the diamonds. That worked. Now the question is, can we get these monthlies rolling here? But right now, the inside 60, so we'll know about that below 312, and you're getting there right now, or above 313.14, but right now starting to fade, because some of these industrials have been fading all day, and I'll get to that in just a second. Small cappers, not quite an inside 60s, but it would be 322 back down if they want to start hitting this thing below this. 182.25. We'll see. Once again, these monthlies the issue, but still trying to work these outside weeks, and small cappers did take out yesterday's lows and still have some room to take all that out if they want to hit them. So we're starting to weaken here just a little bit on these 60s. We'll see. So one of the things you want to look for, so when you have something like this in the SPY, you have that big down day, and then you start to stabilize. Anybody taking out yesterday's highs, right? That's how we started off the day, because anybody who was short got what they wanted. The market got hammered, right? But if their stock didn't go down, starts going up today, now they got problems. Teslas, boom. So as soon as you can see that, as soon as it takes out yesterday's high, boom, you're in. And that was in last night's video above 297.39, trading 304.67. We'll see if that maintains, especially, when the market just stabilizes is one thing. If it starts rolling over again, that's another ball game. But right out the chute, this is stuff that we look for. If we go to Starbucks, and Starbucks, stick it to them. Here, you had a big down day in the SPY. Starbucks didn't go down very much, and then boom, as soon as you took that out, took off. Now just kind of sitting there, kind of waiting to see how this market acts coming into the afternoon. If we go to Johnson & Johnson, and Johnny John just slightly takes out yesterday's highs and then backs off. We'll see if there's anything more to it. Not doing much. You got your outside week and stuff like that. But, it's always nice to have a list of longs and shorts depending on what's going on in the market. If you go to TWLO, boom, there we go. Anything that you could look at last night, like going through the video, I was looking for anything that didn't really get clocked, right, that was close to being able to do this. And TWLO, boom, right up there, and inside week to the upside over here, and green on the month. Not everybody can say that, and you can see how it just exploded once it took this out at 72.89 up to 78.38. Real nice there. If we go to, it's back, HKD. Shenanigans are back, moving around again, and today you got a little bit more volume. So, during this nightmare, remember this thing going up to 2,000, whatever, and then it just dried up where it's doing like no volume. But today you do have a little bit more volume if you want to keep an eye on something like that. Also, energy, trying to keep the pack going here. XLE taking out yesterday's highs and last week's highs. If you go to OIH, here, it's getting closer on that. We'll see. PXD taking out yesterday's highs and last week's highs. Now coming in off that inside 60. EOG Trying to take that out. You've got Chenier really going here. We talked about that last night in the Power Hour. Chenier having a real nice one here, going into more highs, taking out the weekly highs and having a real nice day. Chenier LNG, EQT. Also taking that out, and 2-2 weaker there, and APA, and just right down the list. These guys taking care of business here. Market just still drying up here, going sideways. We also have Moderna. And Moderna taking out yesterday's highs. A little bit stuck in here, but we'll see. And that tells us we can look at NVAX. Here, taking out yesterday's highs, taking out last week's highs. So that gets my attention. You can see how these things just explode when they do that. And that's all that mental game. You know, you get the market hammered, and your stock doesn't go down. Boy, as soon as that thing turns around, you cover. A little bit of the solars, too. Sedge taking out yesterday's highs, ENPH. I believe so, too. So some of those solars still hanging around. Cruise ship, RCL. And there you go, 2 down, 2 up, and off she goes. And, so there's that. But we're watching these 60s because we know things got really trashed yesterday. And so right now it's just kind of stabilizing. If we go to like some of the industrials like Honeywell, still having problems and going toward the lows and starting to extend that month down now. Here you can see that shooter 2 up, 2 down on the month, and big, long, ugly 3 weaker. And that tells us mini mines, Dow Jones stuff. Triple M still has some room to take all this out and be an outside week over here. Still 3-2 on the month there and getting trashed here. Triple M still having problems. We had some problems here too in the XLP. And XLP trying to extend losses from yesterday. Not totally getting killed, but not stabilizing either. And that's giving us Kimberly-Clark over there especially. Kimberly-Clark having some issues here. And there's your inside day to the downside yesterday. Still going to the downside. KMB. We're also having some problems here in the REITs, VNQ. VNQ extending losses from yesterday. And that's giving us stuff like AVB. Here. Still getting trash. How's SPG doing? That's not so bad. But AVB taking more of the beating. ENPH going to the highs as I speak. SunPower, more solars going to the highs. Market stabilizing here like we might get inside 60s. Q's, like I said, staying as an inside day with Tesla's hanging near the highs. If we go to Union Pac, we had some problems in the rails, but they're starting to stabilize. But you can see that Union Pac got hit again. How about CSX? Already recovering, so not too bad over there. But if we go to some healthcare, McKesson still getting hit after yesterday. That's 2 weaker on the downside. Centene was getting hit. Here, CNC now trying to stabilize with the market, but we'll see. You know, like I said, QQQ still an inside day and inside 60, and if they rally back, and you get a big move to not be an inside day to the upside, right? So the question is, how do we finish this day off? Are we closer to an inside day to the downside to take all this out and be an outside week, or to recover and go back and try and come up to fill the gapper here? We'll see, because we got the Fed coming next week. Airbag and bag, what are you doing? Airbag and bag taking out yesterday's highs. Marriott, what are you doing here? Looking for an outside day, so a little choppy out there as we have an inside day for the Qs. A bunch of inside 60s right now to keep an eye on. Energy, so far your leader, and anything taking out yesterday's highs. I can't stress that enough. All right, it's going to do it for today. I'm Ross with this, Mr. Black, Strat Time Report.